After years away, I returned home to see my dad fighting for his life in a hospital room. But my mom and siblings were uploading beach photos from Bali. I couldn't stay silent anymore. One click changed everything. When I stepped out of the cab that night, the cold air hit me like a slap. 5 years away, and everything about my hometown felt smaller, quieter, emptier. I'd come back because of one message, a short shaky voicemail from my neighbor saying, "Your dad's in the hospital. It doesn't look good." My hands trembled as I pushed open the ICU doors. And there he was, my father, tubes in his mouth, pale, barely recognizable, machines breathing for him. I stood frozen, staring through the glass, waiting for someone, anyone, from my family to show up. But no one came. No mom, no brother, no sister, just silence, and the sound of the monitors beeping like a countdown clock. Then, out of habit, I pulled out my phone. Maybe mom didn't know yet. Maybe she was on her way. But the second I opened Instagram, my world cracked open. There they were, Mom, Jason, and Lily, my family, smiling under a Bali sunset. My dad dying in a hospital bed, and them, holding cocktails, laughing. #vacation vibes. For a full minute, I couldn't move. The nurse asked if I was okay, but I couldn't even speak. My chest felt hollow. I replayed that voicemail in my head. It doesn't look good. No, it didn't. Not for my dad, and not for the people who abandoned him. I sat beside him all night, holding his cold hand, whispering the words they should have said. "I'm here, Dad. You're not alone." By morning, my rage had turned icy. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just acted. See, when my dad got sick 2 years ago, he made me the joint account holder for all his finances, in case something happens, he said. And that morning, I logged into the family account and froze every card, every penny. Within an hour, chaos began. My phone lit up like fireworks. First it was my sister. "What the hell did you do? Our hotel can't process payments." Then Mom, "You can't do this to us. We're on vacation." I stared at the messages, heart pounding, and replied with 3 words. "Dad's on life support." Silence for 2 hours. Then Mom called, crying, begging, blaming. She said it was a planned trip. That Dad wouldn't want them to stop living their lives. I almost laughed. "He's not dead yet, Mom." She hung up. They flew back the next day, furious. When they walked into the hospital, pretending to care, I was already waiting. I showed them everything. The time-stamped beach photos, the withdrawal alerts, even their texts joking about Dad always being dramatic. The look on their faces. That was the moment I knew revenge had started working. I didn't yell. I didn't need to. I simply told the doctors to remove their access from every medical decision. Legally, I was the only one Dad trusted. And from that moment, I made sure they felt what abandonment really meant. When Dad passed a week later, he left a will, handwritten, hidden in his bedside drawer, and it started with one line. "To the one who stayed, everything." My mother's jaw dropped, my brother cursed, my sister sobbed. I stood silent, because I hadn't just taken their money. I'd taken away the one thing they'd never valued, family. A month later, I got a letter from the hospital staff. They said my dad had one lucid moment before the end. He whispered, "Is she here?" They told him yes, that I never left. Now, every time I drive past that hospital, I remember the way his hand tightened around mine, that last night, and I smile. Because sometimes revenge isn't about destroying others, it's about making sure they finally see what they lost. But as for Mom and the others, they saw it. When the bank account they once used for luxury turned into the fund that paid for Dad's memorial. Every glass of champagne they once raised in Bali now tastes like guilt. And me, I didn't just freeze their money that night. I froze their comfort, their control, their hearts, all with one click.